In a quiet coastal village where the sea whispered to the sand and the wind played soft songs through tall grasses, there lived a little girl named Liora. Liora had the kind of eyes that always looked like they were thinking about something far away. She loved the moon, loved the stars, and most of all, she loved the ocean. Every night she would sit on the windowsill of her tiny cottage and stare out into the dark water. She liked how the waves kept moving, even while the world fell asleep. But Liora had a secret. She believed there were whales in the sky. She didn't mean stars that looked like whales, or dreams that felt like swimming, no. She believed there were real whales, floating silently above the clouds, swimming through the deep night. When she told the villagers, they just smiled and said, "Liora has a big imagination," but Liora didn't mind. Her heart told her it was true. One evening, just after the sun slipped below the horizon, Liora walked barefoot along the beach. The tide was low, and little tide pools sparkled in the moonlight. That's when she saw it, a seashell glowing faintly in the sand. It wasn't like the others. This shell shimmered with silver light, and when Liora held it to her ear, she didn't hear the sea. Instead, she heard a voice, a deep, gentle voice, like a song wrapped in water. It said, "Follow the moon. When it touches the sea, the sky will open." Liora stood very still. She looked at the moon, round and full, hovering just above the horizon. Then she looked out at the ocean. The moon's reflection stretched across the waves like a glowing path. She didn't hesitate. She stepped into the water. At first, the water was cold, but as Liora walked farther, it grew warmer. The moonlight glowed around her feet. Each step felt softer, lighter. The waves didn't crash, they simply rolled away, as if the sea itself was making room, and then something impossible happened. Her feet no longer touched the water. She was walking on light. The path stretched far into the distance, glowing beneath her. All around her, the world grew quiet. No wind, no gulls. Just the soft hum of starlight above and the endless hush of the sea below. Far ahead, something began to take shape. A gate tall and made of clouds. It shimmered like mist and opened as she approached. She walked through it. Liora gasped. She was no longer on Earth. She stood in the sky, but not empty sky. It rippled beneath her like water, dark and endless. Stars floated past like drifting lanterns. And there, swimming slowly and silently in the distance, were the night whales, enormous, gentle, glowing like constellations brought to life. One swam near her. Its eye was larger than her whole body, and yet it looked at her kindly, like a grandparent watching over a sleeping child. The whale opened its mouth not to eat, but to speak. Its voice was calm and deep. "You are not dreaming. You are not lost. You are meant to be here." Then the whale sang, not with words, but with feelings. The song filled the air around her and inside her, like warmth, like memory, like a bedtime lullaby sung long ago. And just like that, Liora knew she was safe. The night whales invited her to ride on their backs. As she climbed aboard, starlight gathered beneath her feet like stepping stones. The whale rose slowly, gliding through constellations. They passed the sleeping stars, which snored softly and flickered with dreams. They passed the cloud turtles, who carried small glowing gardens on their backs. They even passed the lantern fish, whose tails painted streaks of gold across the night. Liora didn't speak. She didn't need to. Everything was still. Everything was peaceful. The whales sang again, and Liora felt time slow down. She remembered being held as a baby. She remembered her first dream. She remembered the quiet joy of watching the rain fall outside while warm inside her blanket. Up here, nothing hurried. Nothing chased, nothing shouted. It was all just calm. Eventually, the night whales swam lower and lower, until Liora could see the sea again, glowing softly beneath a veil of clouds. They brought her to the moon path once more. It was still there, waiting. Still warm. She slid off the whale's back and landed lightly. as if gravity remembered her again. The whale bowed its great head. "We will see you again," it said, "when the moon touches the sea." And then it was gone, fading into the sky like a dream dissolving in the morning light. Liora walked back down the moon path. The stars faded. The tide rose gently. And before she even reached the shore, she was already asleep. Liora woke up in her bed, the seashell still in her hand. It wasn't glowing anymore, but it was warm. Outside, the waves whispered like always. The sky was soft with morning light, but something in her heart felt different, like a secret she didn't need to tell. She would never forget. She didn't need proof, because now she knew when the world is quiet, when your heart is calm, when the moon touches the sea, the night whales will return. So have you ever experienced a moment when the ordinary seemed to shimmer with magic? Maybe you witnessed a beautiful sunset that left you feeling awestruck, or perhaps you heard a song that resonated with your soul and made you feel deeply connected to something bigger than yourself. These are the moments that remind us of the boundless wonder that exists in our world and the importance of keeping our hearts and minds open to the infinite possibilities that surround us. And so we come to the end of this enchanting tale. We hope that it has reminded you of the power of imagination and the beauty of believing in the extraordinary. Remember, the magic is all around you. You just have to open your eyes and your heart to see it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales of wonder and adventure. Until next time, may your days be filled with laughter, your heart with courage, and your journey with magic. Goodbye.